Question number 15, it's about underpricing. So, having heard about IPO underpricing, I put in an order to my broker for 1000 shares of every IPO he can get for me. After 3 months, my investment record is as follows. So, the broker participated in 4 different IPOs. IPO A, he got 500 shares, each share priced at $10, and initial returns were 7%. And similarly, B, C, and D. So let's come to the requirements. What is the average underpricing in dollars uh, of this sample IPO? Sample of IPO. So to see the underpricing, we know that the initial returns are actually the underpricing. So the company sold the stock in $10, and on the first day of its trading, the stock rose about 7%. So the underpricing is about 7%. Are the 7% left on the table for the investors, right? So we have to calculate this underpricing in dollars. It's very simple. What we can do is we multiply the share price with the initial return, 7%. So it will give us the underpricing in dollars. Similarly, for all these 4 options, I will use the Microsoft Excel to calculate this. Hope it's visible. So we have 4 IPOs, A, B, C, and D. So these are IPOs. Then we have shares allocated in each IPO, which is 500, then 200, then 1000, then 0. And thirdly, we have price per share, which is 10, then 20, then we have 8, then we have 12. Then we have initial returns. Okay, these are 7%, then we have 12%, then we have minus 2%, then we have 23%. So to calculate the dollar under pricing, we will just take the share price and multiply it with the returns, and we will just drag it, and all the underpricing will be calculated. Now our requirement is average underpricing. To calculate the average, we will add up all of these, A plus B plus C plus D, and divide it with the 4. So, or we can just write the average formula here, and right here we have $1.42. So this is the average underpricing from all these IPOs. So this is our first requirement. Let's get back to our second requirement. What is the average initial returns on a portfolio of shares purchased from 4 IPOs that I bid on? When calculating these average initial returns, remember to weight by the amount of money invested in each share. So next we have to calculate the portfolio returns. To calculate portfolio returns, we will write a formula which is return on portfolio is equal to weight of stock A multiplied by return on stock A plus weight of stock B multiplied return on stock B plus weight of stock C multiplied return on stock C plus weight of IPO D multiplied by return on D. So R RA, this is RA, this is RB, this is RC, so and this is RD. So we have returns. Now we have to calculate the weights. So to calculate the weights, we have to see how much we have invested uh, in each IPO. So these are our investment. So our investment in the first IPO was 500. We have bought 500 shares, and for each year we paid 10. So if we multiply it, we have invested total of how much? 5,000. In the second IPO B, we put 4,000, and in the third IPO C, we invested 8,000. In the D IPO, we didn't get any shares, so we uh, no, we didn't invested anything. So then we have to total it. Total it, we will use the sum functions. We'll just add up all of these. So now we can calculate weights. So what are the weights? Weights are actually the investment in portfolio A divided by total, right? Similarly, investment in B divided by total, and investment in C divided by total. So we will add up all these weights. They all should sum up to 1. So that's it. So now we have WA, WB, WC, WD, which is of course it's 0, so it will be 0. And then we have returns, all these returns. So what we can do is multiply all these return, multiply with, or we can say we multiply weight with the return. So here is our weight and here are our returns. So multiply all. So let's go back to our formula. So we have multiplied all these weights with the corresponding returns. Now the last thing left is just add all of these values. So we will take the help of this and we will just use the sum function. Okay, so these are our returns 0.0394. If we want to write it in percentage, it will be 3.94%. So here 3.94%. So this is our part. This is our part B. So what about the part C? You have just encountered the problem of winner curse, true or false. Yes, true. Why? Because we got uh, like almost half of our investment in the C IPO. We got 1,000 shares in the C IPO, around $8,000 invested in C IPO, and this C IPO was actually overpriced. We couldn't get any initial returns. The initial returns were negative, so The IPO, we got the maximum shares. We were not lucky to get those shares. So we got those shares. In that case, we are lucky to get those shares, but we were unlucky because those shares were overpriced. And when they start trading in the market, they the market corrected it, and their prices become lower as compared to the price on which we bought this. So the maximum returns were available to the DIPO in which we bought nothing. So we got uh, more shares in the IPO which gives maximum returns, and we got maximum shares in the IPO which gave negative return. So of course there is a winner curse.